The Cure is a sci-fi horror thriller that promises a chilling tale of familial betrayal and biotech gone wrong, but unfortunately, this movie delivers only in fits and starts the film follows Ellie, a 16-year-old adopted girl plagued by a mysterious illness that keeps her isolated in her adoptive parents' luxurious high tech mansion. Her parents, wealthy biotech billionaires portrayed by David Dushmalchian and Ashley Green, are seemingly caring and overprotective of their adopted daughter, but as Ellie begins to dig deeper into her condition, she uncovers a horrifying truth. They're harvesting her blood for sinister, self serving reasons tied to experimental immortality and rejuvenation schemes. So the director Nancy Leopardi sets up a premise ripe for paranoia and body horror, drawing on themes of exploitation, medical ethics, and the dark side of privilege. The cast is solid, with Desmalchian bringing his signature unsettling intensity, and Green adding a layer of calculated warmth that makes the eventful reveal all the more disturbing at the middle and end of the film. That said, The Cure struggles mightily with pacing. The first two thirds of the film crawl along with repetitive scenes of Ellie's daily struggles, vague symptoms, suspicious glances, and slow building unease that never quite ignites into real tension. It's the kind of slow burn setup that feels more like a slog than deliberate suspense. Too much lingering on mundane isolation and not enough momentum to keep you invested. I found myself checking my watch far too often, waiting for something to actually happen. And luckily, I had popcorn. I was eating popcorn at the time. Then, towards the end, things finally kick into gear with some batshit crazy sequences that are generally wild and well executed without spoiling too much of the film. The climax dives headfirst into grotesque, over the top revelations involving labs, twisted experiments, and a frantic escape that delivers the kind of gonzo horror energy the movie desperately needed earlier on in the film. These late game moments are creative, visceral, and surprisingly bold, showing flashes of real imagination and technical skill. But unfortunately, by the time the film gets into its bonkers payoff, it's too little, too late. The drawn out build up has already drained most of the goodwill of the film, leaving the chaotic final feeling like an abrupt course correction rather than a earned escalation. The Cure has intriguing ideas, and a strong closing act, but the sluggish setup and lack of consistent thrills make it, I would say, yeah, really make it hard to recommend. Wholeheartedly, it's a middling entry in the sci-fi horror genre, worth a watch if you're a fan of the cast or the premise of the film, but don't expect a consistently gripping experience. While there is some blood and gore in the movie, it's not excessive. It's not always a bad thing, as the cast is relatively small here. There is a scene in the middle of the film which was a major "what the fuck did I just see" moment that which I wish was the kind of scene that was spread throughout the movie. If if it did, we would have had a new cult classic in our hands and would have been a talking point for the horror community for years to come. So my rating for this movie is a straight down the middle 2.5 stars. It's an okay watch, but watch at your own risk. It's pretty boring, and there is some, as I said earlier, batshit crazy scenes towards the end. But it is a good one-time watch, and I would give this movie a 2.5 out of 5.